record. Okay, good. I'm recording this now. Because last time I recorded, I was not successful.
What are you going to be doing that you need this technology for, Melissa?
Say again, Bill?
What do you need this technology for Melissa? What are you going to be doing with it?
She's looking to do something. Everybody's looking to do the same thing. Matter of fact, she wants to fly me down to a conference on the 21st and 22nd to get more proficient in using this technology, because she's what's the word? Ideally, she's looking to create an online university for her real estate knowledge. She says that God has blessed her with this knowledge, and she's doing people a disservice not having it out there for people to have access to it. So she's looking to create an online university, basically, for this real estate, and create videos, yet like Brandon Bouchard, except she can't be sitting down. It takes away the energy. So she'd like me to help her in that space, making her videos look great and so on and so forth.
Fantastic. And we get to benefit from feedback on that using her technology.
Absolutely. And also, what was the other thing that was really, 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 really cool is Melissa, videos. She's looking for people to assist her with doing exactly what we're doing now, creating a Facebook page, marketing it, doing webinars, doing podcasts, go lives, all of that. Everything that we're doing, she needs to do for real estate, what we're doing for self-enhancement and self-betterment, Mental Arts Dojo. All right, with all of that said, I'm going to share the screen now. Desktop, start screen share. Okay, and you guys can see my desktop now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I'm going to pull up my nudie pictures. Focus, man. Okay, here we go. Stove. Okay, that's an invention. Agenda for the first 5,000, 100 million. Save. Make this cancel. Save. Okay. Make this a little smaller. Okay, Bill, so you see how it's laid out here? This was what was off on yours. You remember how this was coming in half the page?
Yeah.
And then right underneath it is this. This is supposed to take up one section, but it was overlapping from one page to the next. And then the next thing would be the yellow belt, followed by the same exact thing. So this is the template to flesh out the calls, or what takes place during the calls. None of this is etched in stone. I just put this stuff up here. Honoring the white belt.
So, yeah, the thought was to watch the videos on the webinar. And then which way we can do that with Zoom, either using John's desktop or vice versa.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And
The
then,
only reason why I went into this is because before leaving the office, you had mentioned, what are we going to do when we get back? And I thought that we planned on, continuing with this and doing something else as far as setting up the Facebook page and blah, 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 blah.
well, what we're finding is like reviewing his stuff, maybe we can start over or whatever, because the video is that long, is it's focusing our mind, or what we need to do, so that when we get to the Facebook page and all the other stuff we have to do with a clear intention, or with context.
So, John, I'm going to stop the screen share, and then if you would start it on your end, then I could see whatever you guys are looking at, and I'm here with you.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, maybe we should have that as a list of, you know, like 3 major things. As of, would it make more sense to just take a couple of minutes and do this, and then that'll maybe clear. We'll be better at doing the part that you talked about. When I pull up the video, do I have to do I have to click on screen share first, or
Yeah,
just pull up?
you click on screen share first,
All right.
and then you should see something in the top left-hand side that says desktop 1.
Right.
Click on that, and then click start screen share down to the bottom right hand.
All right. Very good.
We have a whiteboard we can use?
Isn't there one in the office?
No, I mean, I just saw on the Zoom there the functionality for whiteboard when you're sharing.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that option. I guess we do.
Okay.
Yep, John, I'm seeing whatever you're doing.
All right. Good.
Okay, this is the back end.
Oh, okay. Just so you know, with Rogan Moser and the weekly webinar system, it let me log directly into his site. So we're just going to pull up a few quick video clips, okay? And then let us know if you can see the actual video or not. And hear it, of course.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear it? So you don't hear anything he's saying?
Nope.
All right, here's what we're thinking. He has a 46-second video where he welcomes them to the webinar boot camp, and Bill and I concluded all we practically have to do is modify a few words in his script. So there's another way to go about it. I could send you the link and the username and the password, and you can go in and watch it.
John, could you stop the screen sharing for a moment?
How?
Up towards the top, it should say something about stop screen sharing. Oh, right. I'm watching it right now. There you go. Okay. You're back on my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not that many years away from holograms. We got to get on there. Frank Isabel. Email.
Oh, wow. I tried that.
Well, Leon, let me know when you got a minute for a question. So, should we just jump into calls 1 through 10 and lay it out clearly? Or should we do the 7-day sprint, which is asking questions like, what are you truly passionate about? What skill or accomplishment do you have? You know, it's that 7-day sprint that goes through and makes you look at each of our skills, and then what are the pain points and the needs of the market, and what would they pay for. So with where you are right now, which to you makes more sense? Jump into phone calls one?
John, I can hardly hear you. You have to talk into the mic on the computer.
All right. How about now? Could you hear me now?
Perfect. I can hear you perfect now.
All right. So the question is, should we abandon everything and jump into
Abandon everything and jump into.
calls 1 through 10 of the dojo and what it covers and exactly what we say, and just go with that and forget for the moment about the webinar website? Or if we're going to do the webinar website, should we go into the video called the 7-Day Sprint, where it makes us think deeply about our skills, and then separately our market? What are their pain points? What are things that they would pay for? What solution could we bring them? What are we passionate about? So the question is, which way do we go? Jump into phone call 1 and just review and start going up through phone call 10, or do the 7-day sprint?
I'm open for anything. I just
Is there a way we can get the technology to work better? Or maybe this is a limitation of Zoom. If we play a video on this for part of the webinar, it's not going to be a problem? Just for Webinar Jam would be better, or is there a solution to
Well,
it?
I thought we already said that we're going to use Webinar Jam for the webinars. And they have the capability to upload like 10 videos, so it won't even be an issue. Zoom, I was just using because it's free. So I'm not
Okay.
suggesting you use Zoom for our webinars.
But I would think, I'm just wondering if there's just a setting that we're missing and make it so everybody could hear, because
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That's why
Yeah.
I was pulling this up to wonder if you two could hear it on this end, because I'm the one who initiated the call.
can you play a video?
Yeah, that's what
Let's
I'm
see.
doing right now.
Let's see if we can hear.
Truth is, you're going to pull off some astonishing things.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Yeah, we can
Then
see
that's
it and hear it.
Then I think that's the deduction. If somebody who's a participant is playing something, then you won't be able to hear it. But if the person that initiated the call is playing it, you will be able to hear it. That's why I just asked for a moment to go do this.
Seriously. One great webinar system that sells one product.
So we have everything that he has on his site, plus the 11 weeks that we went through, or whatever the time that we went through. We have that in the Google Drive. There's probably some newer stuff. So is this what you wanted to go through?
There's one of the videos called the 7-Day Sprint.
I have that.
Perfect. If you want to go to that one leads us through answering the questions on a nice deep level. I think if you go to 4 minutes, it's where it starts.
Thank you.
Let's give it a few seconds.
Come up and make a copy. And this is going to be the document that we're working through for the next 7 days. Now, you can see at the bottom that we have different tabs here that we're going to be working through. Don't jump ahead on there. Feel free to take a look through there. If you wanted to move forward a little bit, that's actually okay with me here. But make sure that what I don't want you to do is skip on any of these sections here. So I think each of these is really a great single topic for the day. And I think rather than kind of burning through this, I'd rather you sit in the pocket here and really fill this out here well. So what we're going to start off here with on day 1 is to start with your passion and skills, and also start to think about your audience's biggest pains here. And so kind of working through here, this will be your copy. You can just type your responses here. I've gone through this whole thing myself, and I have basically written out an example program. It's not actually a coaching program that we have, but an example of what I would do for a coaching program if I was helping people start and grow their digital marketing consulting businesses here. I do run a training program on that, but it's not like an 8-week coaching program like we're working on here now. So I kind of use this as an example. So feel free to kind of use this to look off of. Obviously, you guys will have all sorts of different ideas, different programs, different audiences here. You can watch mine as an example here, but just kind of quickly going through this, I'll just kind of talk you through a couple of my thoughts for you guys moving forward. So, first off, starting with what skill or accomplishment do you have in your life or business that you're most proud of? What are you truly passionate about? What skill?
Did you guys print out the template?
I could email it to you right now if you want. If we end the screen share, we tried to print it and it kind of misaligns, but I actually have it to where I could email it to you and you'd be able to, like, whatever you do, you can type into it. If you have access to a printer, you can print it. We'll just warn you before you print like the 30 pages. It might not print. It might not look printed. It will not look printed the same way it looks on the screen. So I just want to warn you about that before you say it'll waste a bunch of paper. Do you want me to email you the whole template?
I have it saved on a Google Doc. I just was wondering if
I looked on Google Doc. The one that we have saved, as far as I could see, is only one section of it. And there's like 7, on the one he has on the website, there's like 7 other tabs. I don't know if all the 7 tabs are there. If you say they are, great. But if you want me to email it to you, just let me know.
yeah, if you could email it to me, I appreciate that.
Perfect. Do you want to stop the screen share? I'll email it to you because that document is $1 million. All right.
Well, you need to stop the screen share.
It won't let me go into tabs.
Minimize it.
Maybe.
So you're logged into his website.
Yeah, plus Leon has just about all of them on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you log in, it's the same as I was before.
Yep. I'll email you the link when I can get to it.
This is, yeah. Oh, if I do it that. It's a 1040 form. And all income goes on line 7 if you're an employee. And if you have investments.
Bill, you're just asking to be sent a link to this folder?
All right, I just attached it as a document. I sent it in an email. If you wanna, if you're able to check your email, if you could let us know if you got it. Hopefully that works.
I'm doing that right now.
All right.
Mhm. Thanks, son. Yep, got it. 7-day sprint.
All right, great. Now, if you look down at the bottom of it, there should be a whole bunch of different tabs, like day 1, day 2, day 3, And there's a lot of phenomenal questions in each one. They go really deep. So it's 10 to 4. What do you guys think about spending a certain amount of time on this? And then a certain amount of time we jump in to the phone calls 1 through 10? Or do you have a different idea? Well, in other words, so you said you could stay till what time? 5:30? Okay. So if we could spend like 45 minutes like delving into this, and then 45 minutes on the calls 1 through 10? Leon, what do you think about spending?
Right?
I'm going to stay silent on that.
Leon?
Yeah, I'm here.
So do we want to spend 30 minutes on the 7-day sprint and start answering some of these questions? And then 30 minutes on getting a little clearer in the areas where it's needed on the phone calls?
Yeah, absolutely. The way you say
All right. So let us know when you're ready.
We're just getting back to that back to the video.
To move forward a little bit. That's actually okay with me here. But make sure that you, what I don't want you to do is to skimp on any of these sections here. So I think each of these is really a great single topic for the day. And I think rather than kind of burning through this, I'd rather you sit in the pocket here and really fill this out here well. So what we're going to start off here with on day one is to start with your passion and skills, and also start to think about your audience's bigger pain or biggest pains here. And so kind of working through here, you'll just be your copy. You can just type your responses here. I've gone through this whole thing myself, and I have basically written out an example program. It's not actually a coaching program that we have, but an example of what I would do for a coaching program if I was helping people start and grow their digital marketing consulting businesses here. I do run a training program on that, but it's not like an 8-week coaching program like we're working on here now. So I kind of use this as an example, so feel free to kind of use this to look off of. Obviously, you guys will have all sorts of different ideas, different programs, different audiences here. You can watch mine as an example here, but just kind of quickly going through this, I'll just kind of talk you through a couple of my thoughts for you guys moving forward. So, first off, starting with what skill or accomplishment do you have in your life or business that you're most proud of? What are you truly passionate about? What skill, talent, or knowledge do you have that people often look to you for help on? And what skill can you teach others that would make them money? It doesn't have to be money, but money is a very nice sell. And then ultimately, you're going to be answering this question down here at the very end: what skill or knowledge will you teach for your coaching program? So I really believe that most people can probably only teach, 1 or 2 different topics really, really well.
Are we going to pause it and start answering the questions?
Yes, 100% right.
Okay, let me know when.
I would say now is good, or if you want to give them another 30 seconds and then pause it. Want to give them another 30 seconds?
Yeah, please let me know, because if you ask me what I want,
Give them another 30, and then at 30 more seconds, we'll pause it and dive in.
All right, thank you.
Coaching program, you really want to think like, what's the one biggest thing that I'm good at, passionate about, and that people really need help in here. So you probably don't have 5 things. I don't have 5 different topics in my head. I would be a great fit to coach people. I really just have 1, 2, maybe 3. But it should start to come to life and start to stand out for you as you move through this. So just kind of write this out, and if you feel stuck or you feel like I'm not sure if that's the right answer, just keep moving through it, because you get a whole lot of clarity throughout these 7 days, and you can even go back. You might learn something in day 3 about your audience, makes you go back and adjust something in day 1. So don't get stuck here at all. And ultimately, you want to come down to the point where you kind of have, hey, again, this could be an idea. Maybe you're not totally confident in that, but hey, I will teach others how to sign digital marketing clients to $1,500 a month retainers and help them scale that to 10 clients. That's kind of my example of, hey, here's what I really want to teach people how to do. And that, again, that may change as I go throughout the program here. I might need to come back and tweak that or edit that, or I might go a different direction here. But go through this and get down what you have in your head here right now and take a stab at it. Second step for today.
Okay, so we're going to pause it?
Audiences.
All right. So question number 1. And do we want to look at this as a team? Like as a team, what skill or accomplishment do we have that we're most proud of?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
All right. So Leon, you're the best at this. So do your 1-minute round. What do you got for question number 1? We're counting on you.
What are the biggest problems?
No pressure. It's $1 million.
Okay, no pressure. Everything's cool. I'll check it. So the audience. Okay, think about your target audience. What are their biggest problems that they need help overcoming? So the thought that was coming to me as he was speaking is that they've seen a bit of success in their life. They know they have the potential for bigger and better, but they just can't seem to consistently, or it's like just something that's missing, just a little piece that's missing. And I think all of us can relate or kind of feel it, but there's just a little something that they need to do or not doing or something. So for those people, I think that's the audience, is that person that knows they're capable of greatness, but just something's holding them back.
All right. Well said.
Did you, Leon, did you look at the WhatsApp recently?
Bill, it's hard to hear you because you're a distance away from the computer.
Yeah.
Did you look at the WhatsApp lately?
No, I can look right now, though.
Okay.
There's questions on there that are related to this.
Hey, John, if you can convey what Bill's saying, it's hard to hear me. Sound like you can't like this.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, he says there's target areas that people.
6 negative core beliefs we want to solve or give relief.
6 negative core beliefs.
And
So
5 human needs we want to address.
So what he wants to do is build into the dojo 6 negative core beliefs and 5 human needs.
And Carla mentioned that she had the answer for tomorrow.
So then that would be the answer that goes in here. Like I don't.
I think naturally, I think what Bill is talking about is how do we make sure, and stop me if I'm wrong, Bill, that what we're creating in the phone calls and in the interaction satisfies their needs, satisfies their basic human needs.
Okay, so people are okay. Think about your target audience. What are their biggest problems and need to overcome? So they need to.
Hold that thought. Where are you in the, are you on day 1 or day 2 or day 3? If you look down at the document.
I don't have the document printed out. I'm looking at the screen right now. It says find their biggest pain.
Oh, all right, because he's like halfway down and through it.
Oh shit! Then what's the question we need to be answering?
The first question is, what skill or accomplishment do you have in your life or business that you're most proud of?
Oh, so how do we answer that collectively?
Yeah. Bill, do you see it? Like
Yeah,
this is day one at the top.
what skill or competence do you have in your life or business that you're most proud of?
Yeah. So Leon, the way you're reading, like on the screen, he's like scrolled down like halfway
No.
through.
Yeah, got it. So that question, should we all answer it individually and then collectively?
We could do it that way.
Um,
What do you think, Bill? Like this question. Did we answer this one, like take a minute or two and answer it and then put our ideas together as a group?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill says yes. So if you want to take like, we'll each take like a minute or two. So you want to look at that question, Leon, and then when you got a thought, just say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, all right. You want to go?
How I managed to raise money to fund the business without a business plan. That was an awesome accomplishment.
All right. Maybe we should go around and we'll just each say one. So one for me is how I managed to graduate from college after taking 7 years off.
Got it.
Do you want to call anything out? Any business or accomplishment or skill that you have that you're proud of?
That's going to sound too good, but we have a intense capacity to perceive with perspicacious sagacity into the root cause of most people's issues. Most people won't know what the hell that means, but we have the ability to discern what their issues are.
We have insight into
Right.
their challenge.
So, Bill, is that your personal or that's our group?
Yeah.
What do you say, both?
Oh, both.
Oh, nice.
All right. So Leon, you want to give another one? And again, it could be collective or it could be just individual.
Yeah, I would say collective. Wow. Yeah, collective is that we have an ability to attract people to what we're doing, and it's not even fully fleshed out yet.
All right. Great.
You ever see that avatar sheet? I can put that out. Oh, no, I'm not.
That might be on day 2. Maybe it's on one of the days of the 7-day sprint. It could be day 2 or day 3 where it says customer avatar. I'll add that we've been having a great ability to readjust the course when we're messing up and get back on track. And the whole idea of creating the dojo, because it's like we created the missing piece
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a huge accomplishment. I was thinking something similar.
Um,
Another one is a group. We make people feel welcome, like they're a part of something bigger.
Absolutely.
there's a sense of destiny about this.
And the unconditional love.
Yeah. The monk story. And Vandalphone and the Kabbalistic cross and
Oh, so bringing in the spiritual.
the spiritual is what makes us, yeah, that is our competitive advantage. Don't tell anybody.
Creating the structure that people are going to be able to use to know where to start and what to do. What about that?
Huge.
So what's coming to mind is they're getting security and stability, and that, you know, that they have a trust and confidence that they're in the right place.
Leon, you're up again. You got anything else you want to put in? Or are you ready to go on to question 2?
Yeah, question 2.
All right. What are you truly passionate about?
Making a difference in my life and in other people's lives.
All right. How about we make that more specific? Make either what kind of difference?
Love difference or spiritual difference or what conscious awareness difference or mindfulness difference.
Positive difference to start, and then you could add all those other things.
Assist people with evolving.
Assist people what?
With evolving.
Great. I will add to that, help people get results that they haven't been able to get on their own. Bill, what are you passionate about?
Saving the planet.
All right.
Quadruple bottom line, pay it forward.
Saving the planet from who? From what?
Sustainability, pay it forward. Raising consciousness.
Awesome.
From me to we, from I to us.
Love it.
It's a survival thing now. It's not a nice thing to do. If we don't do it, it's all about me. We're going to consume the planet.
Absolutely. Saving the planet from ourselves.
And also, it's a lesson from nature. We're a collaboration of physicality. We're the cutting edge of evolution, and we're a collaboration of cells and organs and divine consciousness working in us and through us. And imminent in us.
Emanating through us.
Perfect.
Emmanuel within, God within, whatever, Emmanuel.
Yep. God is with us. God is with us.
Anything you want to add to that, Leon? What are you truly passionate about?
Preach.
What?
Oh no, I can't add anything to that. Preach. It was preaching.
All right. And I'll say, see people overcome challenges. And find solutions. Did I say? Did I say find solutions that others can't?
You know,
Find solutions that others can't.
one of the things in the Maestro Business Academy that talk about is relevant to what we're talking about here. And maybe we don't want to overthink it, but we also don't want to underthink it. Is that there are emotional reasons people do things, there are logical reasons people do things, and there's economic reasons people do things. And the idea is that it's kind of like understanding we want to understand what the psychographic, the demographic, the economics is for our target audience. And then our offering kind of, they're looking for attributes and our product basically has that. So we're not selling, they're buying.
But on an emotional level, they're going to have to be convinced of that by our presentation, our words.
Right. In other words, you're right. I'm not sure that, again, but yeah, for our particular avatar, we got to know what those things are. Well, yeah.
All right. Is there, I think we did 1 and 2 pretty well. Leon, question 3, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What skill, talent, or knowledge do you have that people often look to you for help on?
The ability to be a good or great listener and to take something that seems like it has a lot of pieces and compress it in a simple way.
We are a collective of Litus.
A collective of
Letu.
the Litus, okay.
I'll add in teach.
Now, are we doing it for ourselves, each other in the group? Because I would say,
Whatever comes up.
okay, John, you have an awesome ability to stay centered. Like on a call, you would ask a question and nobody responds, and your energy doesn't fluctuate at all. You just keep going. Like the world could have applauded and nobody could have applauded, and it doesn't seem to affect you.
Oh, all right. Thanks for pointing that out.
So you stay centered, and then your whole formula ability. And Bill, he has a very interesting way of coming from a possibility perspective rather than getting emotionally moved by, it's rare, by
We take it back and leave the rest.
I can't hear him.
take the best, right? Leave the rest.
That's his shit. Yeah, that's his stuff. That's what he does.
All right, Leon, on yours, it's you would be the first person to stop and help somebody in need or with a challenge or you know, a crying kid that's in trouble or, you know, you would fit right in to the cave of Adullam. Like, they wouldn't have to train you at all.
Appreciate that.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if I should say this, but we're in a lot of ways we're women in men's bodies.
Bill, I actually heard that, but I'm gonna pretend I didn't.
We got a softer side to us that most guys don't have. Maybe they do, it's there, but they don't want to admit to it.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's actually an awesome talent, is that we're in touch with our feminine
Yep.
side of us. So we're well balanced because we're born men. So we have the masculine, but we're able to tap into our feminine as well.
Yep, yin yang,
Absolutely.
positive, negative. The pussy keeps trying to draw us in.
And I'm okay with that.
We're looking for a place to plug in.
Remind me of a hip hop artist that said, sometimes you have to play pussy to get pussy.
You have to what?
Sometimes you have to play pussy to get pussy. Because you
Yep.
come masculine and strong and you scared a little pussycat away.
Yep.
All right, are we ready for the next question?
Oh, there's more. I thought that was it. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, we got time for one more and then we get switched.
awesome. What skill can you teach others that would make them money?
I have to give that some thought.
My vision is bottom line. The quadruple bottom, and we create that network effect, that affiliate program. Everybody's got the ability to build an agency or build a business or create freedom for themselves.
All right. I'll put in organization and combining the right pieces.
I would say to think differently, more creative, and
Okay.
the perception of not like regular thinking. For instance, I could stay home and I could stay right here and show John how to knock down that wall behind you.
Aha, great. I don't know if if the owner of the building would like it, but we could try it.
Yeah, he wouldn't mind. Just stop at the top. Just start at the top and just, with your fingers knock down from the top to the bottom of the wall. You knock down the wall.
Also, to answer this question, and you two will be better at this than I am. What have we been doing with Danny and Frank on the morning call? That's been helping them.
Accountability,
All right.
a safe space to express themselves. And I think one of them even said get in tune with their emotional side.
All right, great. And I'll add get focused and get back on track to their goals.
And added perspective on things.
Perfect. The first time we went through the Rogan Moser stuff, I don't think we went this deep, did we?
Man, we didn't even touch this thing.
All right, great. All right. Bill, anything you want to add on how you see we're helping Danny and even ourselves? Like my perspective went from being cheated within a minute to becoming freedom and opportunity.
Oh, to be more mindful with the meditation. I think they're being more mindful as well.
Right.
And then with the VR work, become directors of their life.
Great.
I think it's like there's a collaboration. There's a team of equals. Like we're basically leading it, but everybody's contributing. It's like the Black Party. We're organizing it, but everybody else is bringing something. You know, it's not like we have all the answers or all the, you know.
And that's the brilliance of having a group call. Like amazing things happen in a group like that. And John, also redefining certain words. I thought I knew the definition of consistency. You helped to broaden my definition of what consistency is.
All right. Great.
I thought in my life that I could consistently do something, and every time I engage with it, make it new and fun.
Aha.
And then consistently do that to consistency.
All right. Great.
You know, one of the things I think might be helpful as we go through this, I'm rewriting these questions in the book just to think about it for day one, up to day two. Is how like the way I work is I need to like put the information in and put the question in, and then it marinates or incubates or and then as I come back to it on a subconscious level, I'm getting answers that become conscious. So would it be worthwhile to go through some of these questions? Just read them, or something we can do on our own, or
Yeah. What we'll each want to do is exactly what you said. Answers will appear, like you might get a better vision of certain skills or accomplishments or what you're passionate about tomorrow morning when you wake up and you just
Right.
jump back into your book and write it in. Say the same thing with us. Like certain things will be instantaneous, like conscious level, and then other things will appear, and you'll be like, "Wait, it's just hard to have all of this conscious at the moment." So yeah, something will definitely. That's why it's so important to do this, because then all the other pieces will start to make sense as we, he calls it a deep dive on these things, and not everything is going to be instantaneously aware. So it's 4:25, and the next question I think will lead us in perfectly to the calls 1 through 10. So Leon, you want to hear it?
Okay.
What skill or knowledge will you teach for your coaching program?
What skill or knowledge? We'll teach the skill.
Will you teach for your coaching program?
Yeah. We'll teach the skill
Mm-hmm.
of, and this is big picture, the 9 universal habits of highly successful people. With an array of deep dives into each one.
Oh, wow.
And teaching it like it's never been taught before on many levels with the assistance of other professionals and specialists in each area.
just a thought or question comes to mind in terms of answering what people will get. What prevents them from getting it? I mean, ideally, if somebody goes through our program, they they should have developed the habits and changed their subconscious limiting beliefs in such a way that they, whatever the particular goals are, they're out of the way. And the idea is that what's going to cause somebody to not be successful, and how do we take that away from them? Or how do we say, you know, just a thought. Because by saying what we don't do, what we can't do, or why people fail, then we're also talking about how people succeed. Maybe we need to talk about, spend some time talking about failures, and, you know, maybe it's first talking about these negative core beliefs people have, and then how we transform them. You know, and then the other thing is, I think, again, the accountability on these visions, having a portfolio or a library of empowering visions with affirmations, and maybe it's like case sessions, or maybe it's just you know, audio, you know, affirmations with audio using binaural beats, whatever it is, something that, you know, we need to take all, you know, as many and all treatment modalities we can come up with that's going to help change your unconscious limiting beliefs.
Great.
Yeah, but what you said reminds me of the hero's journey,
Yeah.
and also what Marshall said, that, you know, it's kind of summing it up, that once they're willing to put in the work with the guidance that we're providing, we're giving them the best possible shot for when an opportunity or to reach a goal.
Great.
Yeah, the other thing that comes to mind is, right on target with this, and it happens in the WFG world, is if we push them too far, too fast out of their comfort zone, they're going to bolt. So knowing that, you know, there's a stretch effect, bounce back effect, or you know, you it's like hitting throw the ball against the wall. You know it's coming back at you. You throw. Anyway, we just need to be cognizant and aware of that, and somehow or another be able to smell it, sense it, so that we can deal with it. Because people are unconscious, they may not know consciously why they don't show up or whatever, but there's got to be something going on that's pushing them too far out of their comfort zone. That maybe I'm over, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, other than WFG, where have you noticed that happening?
Pretty much everywhere. Every time somebody tries to do something they didn't do before, they go to the gym on New Year's Day or New Year's after New Year's, and a week later they're back to their old habits. You know, the idea is that wherever, you know, whatever it is that's pushing them to change, it's either not part of their identity, or they're not. The transformation comes in I guess, embracing these habits.
You know what you're reminding me of? Marissa Peer's video about having a new collaboration with your mind, and using the four things: the words, the pictures, making what's familiar unfamiliar, and doing it in a pleasurable way, so it doesn't feel like we're forcing them or pushing them out of their comfort zone, but gently guiding them to form a new framework and get into a new comfort zone.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I mean, sometimes, or somebody said it earlier today, or I heard it recently. Maybe it was you saying it the other day. Sometimes you need to, you know, stroke them and woo them and give them a hug. Other times you need to just, you know, be stern with them. Other times you need to kick them in the ass. And, you know, it depends on, each person is going to react differently to the carrot and the stick, and at different times they're going to need different coaching. And I guess just being aware of that and having the maturity and the emotional presence of mind or emotional intelligence to know that.
Absolutely. It was when we were sitting with Carla: a hug, a shove, a kick, or a drop kick, or something like that. A push or a drop kick.
Yeah.
And I mean, you said it too. It's developing that trust with the person we're coaching, So if and when we do decide to get in their face, and you know, we usually ask on like that death crawl that
Right.
it's not Bill getting in my face, it's not John getting on my case. It's they're looking to bring out the best in me.
Right. Yeah, I wrote that down today. Exactly that. Victor was saying that, you know, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm only trying to help you. Reminding him of that. And I think the idea is the Came with Vidal and the same type of thing. You know, you're giving, as the leader or as the person who's running it, you know, explaining what you're doing and why you're doing it, so it becomes less threatening.
And then also, like Frank said with his coach, who told him that he could, go. And then with John, that video, he found like we're only giving 40%. And then remind him, like coaching the downside, you promised us that you give us your very best. And you know what? We see that you have more in you.
Yeah.
All right. So just so we, one of the things we talked about this morning is having goals and outcomes that we want for the rest of, from now to the coming week. Is one of the goals that we want to do, continue on the future times we get together and complete the 7-day sprint.
Absolutely.
All right, great. All right, so it seems like it's time to transfer out of this and go into the phone calls.
Yep.
So, all right.
And it should be up on your screen.
I still see the video from Webinar Jam. Is there anything I should click?
You still see the video from Webinar Jam. Let me stop the screen share and start it again, and that should adjust.
All right.
Now what do you see?
Yeah, still the webinar that the video that you were watching. Should I click on anything? Yeah, maybe there's something I should click on.
Could be.
We might have to re-click on your Zoom meeting.
Yeah, you have to click on it on your side then. Do you see me now?
We see you.
Okay, and now what do you see on the screen now?
It says Leon started screen sharing and now the phone calls are up.
Okay, great.
Is this saved on Google Drive?
Is what saved?
This document that you have up now with the calls and the belts?
Nope, but I'll send it over right after this call.
All right. And it's going to be called Agenda?
Yeah, it's called Agenda for the First Million for Coaching V4 or something.
All right, great.
Oh, version 4, that's right. Well, I'm just gonna step away from the computer for a moment.
Okay, yeah, John stepped out.
Yep, I see that. So I'm gonna relieve myself.
Go for me.
I'm back.
Okay.
When you give Carla the check for 11,111, make sure she knows that it's not to be cashed yet. Anyway,
I think, well, I'm not sure I have it with me, but yeah, I know. It's
because she might take that as
an account number on it.
right, but like she may take that as her first payment. Really, is that a possibility? That she might think, oh, 11,000 just for a couple of days.
Make it a real check.
Well, one day it will be real, but
Got to be real by August 25th. That's the date I put on it. And all the good work we're doing here, there's no reason we get focused on the right avatar with the right offering. We'll be like mayflies. I mean, it's unlimited. I mean,
if you didn't come in here in person, open to a protein bar.
yeah. Thank you. Pure protein plus. And these are good ones. I found these ones before, and I can't find them anymore. Where'd you get them? They're like extruded.
They were donated to Family Service League.
Really? You have access to the pantry?
Mm-hmm.
Another perk. Yeah, this, I've been looking for these. These are higher than what I've got. And, all the cards net out, almost all the cards net out.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Hello? Oh, okay. Oh, salad. Anything like salad or that? Yeah, that peanut butter and jelly thing with cheese and apple inside of it. Yeah, P and J. Yeah, P and J in the box. And the caramel. I'm finished up with the.
Frank a little bit. Next weekend, on Sunday, you want to take a ride up to his place?
Which place?
One upstate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You and Leanna gonna go? On the phone. We spoke only on the phone. I don't think we saw each other in person.
Who's this?
Bill asked if I ever met Frank.
Oh yeah. I know you said you helped him with his resume stuff.
There's some of these questions in here, like is a very generic or esoteric or existential answer to, and then something very specific for a particular audience. Thank you.
Like it?
Hmm. Mother of God.
I'm wondering when we go out into the Facebook world and we're there, we start interacting with groups. It says here, think about your target audience. What are the biggest problems they need help overcoming? We have our perspective. We have our challenges we've needed help with, /need help with. And we have an idea of what it is, but what are they going to tell us?
Frank and Danny. And some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. That'll be good for a dojo call.
Yeah.
Damn, this thing, I thought it was plugged in. Bless this thing. Is it over there? Is it plugged in the wall? Do it. I got to plug it in the computer. Leon,
Yeah.
let me know when you're Available for a question.
Oh, yep, ready. Available.
So for Monday 710 Dojo, we agreed that we're going to go into honoring the meditation belt, right?
Absolutely.
All right. What do you think of as part of that dojo, if not Monday during the week,
If not,
that we also ask what are the biggest problems that they need help overcoming? 'Cause that's one of the questions on, that's the next question, as a matter of fact, on the 7-day sprint. What do you think?
I think we should get that out of the way. Like, let's get that answer for that because they both know that we're building this thing. So let's get that answer and then go into meditation. Matter of fact, John, are you ready for a question?
I could listen to a question, sure.
Yeah, okay, listening and being ready for it's two different things. Are you ready to answer?
That's exactly right. That's why I'm not committing.
Well, how can we change that? How would you like to change that?
$1,000 question.
Okay, so here we go. That video you posted of the monk that spoke about how important it is for breath and what meditation means, as well as the lady who spoke about meditation. How do you feel about during the course of the 10 days sharing that information with people on the call with Frank and Danny?
In other words, show them those two videos
Okay, those words.
or speak or explain it verbally.
Oh no, show them the videos and then go into a conversation around it. Like do
Yes.
a take, you know,
Yes.
what do you call it? A 1 minute round about it.
Okay, great.
And group speak about it.
All right, good. So could we repeat that? We're gonna honor the meditation belt. And then what will be the next step?
Oh, ask them the question that you asked about.
Okay, biggest problem they need help overcoming.
Yep.
And then what?
Share the monk video and then share the lady video.
Monk video?
Yeah, I know I've seen that one. I'll have to look to see if I can find it.
Yeah, please resend it because I erased it.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I have the ones of that lady that seems like she's from a Saturday Night Live skit where she says meditation is an altered state of consciousness. I have that. How would they be able to listen to it though?
The same
How-
way. Yep, thank you. The same way you put it on WhatsApp.
Okay. All right. Would they watch it before the call, or it'd be something we'd go into? They would do like that 10-minute activity on that.
Either or.
Okay, great.
And then also, would you and Bill download Insight Timer?
Yeah, I can't yet, but I'll see if I can work it out over the next 48 hours.
In fact, that's on the phone?
And what's it called?
Insight Timer?
Inside Timer?
Insight.
Okay, is that meditation thing you sent?
Yep.
All right, yeah, I got to get a password from Apple to be able to do it, so as soon as I get that password, I can download it again. It doesn't let me go into certain things because I need a new password, but as soon as I get it, I'll do it.
Can you do it on your computer, I'm wondering?
I'll try. Yeah, I'm gonna see if it's something that's, I don't know if it's only app-based or computer. See what comes up.
Okay, so I'm taking a screenshot of what the app looks like and sending it on WhatsApp.
Yeah, one of the questions they're asking here, what will your client be able to do, get, or achieve if their fantasy situation comes true? So how can we engineer an experience for you to have like that?
I can't hear what Bill's saying because he's facing.
How could we engineer an experience for the the person in the dojo so that their like inner fantasy / dream comes true?
I'm thinking possibly that would happen in the visualization state when we do that VR work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm just wondering if there's if we're doing a high enough avatar, they're gonna have an archetypical pain, and the solution of the pain, and then we can basically focus a vision on that. So the question that's asking here on day 2 is, what are your clients, if they don't solve the problem, what kind of pain they're gonna have, how much it's gonna cost them, and what kind of influence, prestige, or whatever they're gonna lose. And then the converse to that, what are they gonna get if their ideal fantasy situation comes true, and how much more powerful or influential will they be in their life if the situation comes true?
I mean, yeah.
So that's, anyway, we just something to think about, way to connect the dots. Anyway. So where are we?
We're about to go over the first 10 calls.
Okay. Leon, have you been typing some stuff in?
Yes, I have.
Good.
So I'm just going to go through it from top to bottom. I remember we agreeing on welcoming, making people feel welcome. We'd already have sent them the Cave of Adullam video. So in explaining about the video, just let them know that it's a space that they can feel safe, unconditional love, support, accountability, and community. Tell them the monk story. What are their goals? What are some of their success stories? Specific goals and goals they would love to see accelerated or acceleration. I love to acceleration. Love to have acceleration. You know what the heck I mean. Pardon my horrible typing. Any questions or things that they would like to make clear? Sounds like a John. Feedback. Right. Ask them to accept the challenge of becoming a white belt if he or she will give their very best. Go over the mantra with them. Goal setting and transformation. I'm going to take that out. And then let them know we'll be sending them the G100 form.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yep.
There are some things that you mentioned that seem like that will have been done before call 1. So in other words, they watched the Cave of Adullam video before call 1, right?
Correct.
So how could you distinguish that so that somebody's looking at this and they would know that before the call, they already did certain things, and then certain things are done before the during the call?
Okay, awesome.
However you could do it.
All right. They watched the Cave of Adullam video before call 1. So BFC1 means before call 1.
All right. Here's the thing. You know in your mind what you do before you get them on the call, but I don't. So like, what else do you do? So one thing that you do before they're even in the dojo is they watch the Cave of, but you don't just walk up to somebody and say, okay, I want you to watch this video. So like, bring me through that process. Like, how do you get to the Cave of Adullam video? Let's say I had to do it with somebody. What would I do?
Well, when we spoke to Frank, well, Bill spoke to Frank. When I spoke to Danny about getting on a call, I let him know what we're up to. So it's
Great. Okay, great. That is huge, important. All right. And what did you say we're up to?
selling crack in a corporate office. Well, it's kind
So I know I'm being a real pain in the ass about this, but I want to be able to get people on the call the same way you did. So I need to know, how did you create that?
Thank you for explaining that.
Okay.
So I'm obviously very enthused about it and excited. So that's not something I have to put on. It's just natural. I let them know that we, studied the habits of highly unsuccessful people, studied the habits of highly successful people.
All right. Just hold there for 1 second so I get this down. Because this is important too. You're going to be doing this on a Facebook Live, so we want to have it perfected here. Okay, keep going.
I mentioned to them that I've gone to workshops and seminars in regards to transformation.
Okay.
And within a day, a week, or a month, I end up unmotivated again.
Okay, hold there, please. Could I bring in some criticism here?
Absolutely.
Okay, not to you. And I'm going to question. So a lot of the kids that go to see Perry, does that same thing happen where, let's say he goes to see 100 kids, a lot of them get motivated, and let's say, but 50 of them don't have any way to reconnect with him, and they end up feeling in that same spot that you. So that's my question. Like, when he does all these, 20 million kids supposedly over the, that he does these talks to. Does he go to school? He does this big pump talk, and then like he's gone, and then they're not reconnecting, or like does some of them reconnect? Is it their own choice? Like, what's your perception of that?
From what I'm understanding is he actually has a system and some sort of website to keep him engaged. So how he does it, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So after a day, week, or a month, you felt unmotivated again, and then what?
Huh?
So after so in that conversation that you had that got Danny so pumped up about the call,
Oh, okay.
so your experience was about the seminars and transformation, and then you got on this high, and then you're unmotivated again, and then what? What does the rest of that conversation look like?
And then the rest of the conversation looks like, so what we're doing is we're continuing the conversation for transformation, continued transformation, or sustained transformation. And then I may say something about how, like, when you have something, but if it's not top of mind focus, it goes out of existence.
All right, great. This all makes it really, like, like we were all talking about this morning, especially Carla kept saying, get clear on each, like look at the big thing and then get very clear on the little pieces involved. So I knew this conversation took place between you two, but I didn't know the order and where it was, and was it before the call. So this really cleared things up. Thanks.
And there's one last piece.
Okay.
And that's the piece that you brought in about we studied the habits of highly unsuccessful people and highly successful people. And then we noticed the 9 habits and we created 9 belts out of the 9 habits. And that's pretty much it. Then they say to me, where do I sign?
Okay, back up a second. So we studied the habits of highly unsuccessful and highly successful people, and then what?
And then we identified 9 universal habits that all the successful people have in common, or most of them have in common.
Great.
People can hear you,
So that 9 successful people have in common, and we did what?
And we turned those successful habits into 9 belts in the Mental Arts Dojo, and what we're calling the Mental Arts Dojo. Oh, that's awesome. That name sounds really cool. If you come in, people listen to it.
That's 12 weeks. 90 days will be. Well, here's the thing. We do for like 2 weeks per belt, so it'd be 18 weeks, right? 18 weeks.
2 weeks, 90 days.
Right, okay. That is the pre-call. That is excellent.
And then with Rich, I did let him know it's a 90-day, a 90-day program. He asked, actually. I didn't let him, he asked. He said, well, what does it take, 6 months? And I'm like, no, it's only 90 days. But at that time, we didn't break it up into the 3 chunks. So now, if I was to explain it to somebody, I would add that in there.
So he tells a 90-day program that goes 5 days a week at 7:10?
Yeah, 7:10, yet we broke it down into 3 sections. So 3 belts the first 30 days, 3 belts the second, and 3 belts the last.
Beautiful. All right. Wonderful. The 7-day sprint?
Yeah. Amazing. This is helping me focus my mind.
Good. Because I know when we kind of did this in September, we started it and we kind of like did hit and miss. But I think what the universe was saying was we had to do some other work before we were ready to dive into this. Does that make sense?
We're ready for this. This is the next genius step.
Okay. Yep.
So, wow.
So Leon, let me know when you're ready.
Ready?
So then when they got on the call, of course, there's that welcome. We actually would read them the monk story on the call.
Yep.
Okay. For number 2, it says in there, after the monk story, it says what their goals are. So we would actually just say, hey, do you want to quickly share what some of the goals are that you have in mind? Like,
Yeah, that's what we discussed previously, and I think that's exactly what we followed this script minus a couple things with Danny.
perfect. And then the success stories is an excellent, excellent. And then is there a specific goal they'd like to accelerate? Very good. Is there anything that they are unclear about, don't understand, or they want to give any feedback? Very good. Okay, important. 5.1. At some point, do they watch the video of the coach and Brock?
You know, that's interesting. I was thinking that maybe that could be done as something that what do you do? 10-minute work or something? What's that new thing that we're doing?
What do we call that when we separate for like 10 or 14 minutes?
Activity, something. 10-minute activity, or whatever minute activity.
Okay, 10-minute dojo activity.
Okay, great. So yeah. Well, let me write that in this thing. So that's going to be the dojo activity.
For day one. Okay, great.
So we didn't even introduce him to a take 5 yet. We didn't introduce him to a 1-minute round yet. We didn't introduce him to a group speak yet. That would be on the second day or second call, pardon me.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure of anything. I'm just saying, according to this list, we didn't speak about that yet.
I think that can be done in like really quick, just so we break them in from the first call, where we at least do and tell them, you know, what's a 5, what do we call it?
Take five.
I think we should have that from the first call.
Well, okay. My thought is to save it for the second. Like we're already giving them a lot. Then let's get into some of the dojo, what do you call it, terminology on day 2. You know, and the only reason why I'm suggesting that, and hey, it could be different, it could be whatever, you know, whatever works.
Yeah, you don't want to have 300 things they got to know.
Well, I know you guys don't like what you want to do in the WFG world.
Uh-huh. If we're going to make money from it, we love it.
There's a culture within the dojo that we want them to acclimate to.
Right from the start, right?
Right from the start. What we need to do is have an offline, or maybe it's one of the calls, but the idea of orientation.
Hey, John, is there any way you can move the computer closer to Bill? Because I cannot hear him.
Go a little closer. The wire isn't too long, but we're trying to accommodate you.
Can you hear me now?
It sounds like that Verizon stuff commercial. Can you hear me now? Heard you a little bit.
Sorry. The idea is that with orientation call, it's like when you get people coming in, you take them aside.
This is bullshit.
It's 45, and you give all the reasons why.
Hey, Bill, I can't hear you.
So what Bill is saying is he wants to at least introduce a few of these things right from the start,
Right.
if not during the call, during the pre-call.
Right.
So that might be a good thing to, hey, and it's only take like 30 seconds. Like, hey, look, when you get on the call, you're going to notice John is going to say, do a take 7. All that means is breathe in and breathe out 7 times. As easy as that. And then we'll do a 1-minute round where you just say, what's up. This way, at least, do you think that would have been a nice addition to the pre-call? And then I'll just repeat, you know, when they get on the call so they know.
Okay, where we putting that in the pre-call?
After you explain all, right? So you took us through the whole pre-call that you did with Danny.
Okay, where's that going?
At the end of where we were, where you told them we meet, you know, he said, how long is he? He said 90-day program, 5 days a week, 7-10. And then you say, hey, I'm going to give you the phone number, and I'm going to give you the PIN number to call in, right? Right? You would do that during the pre-call where you give them the phone number and the PIN number?
I texted to him after I got
Perfect.
I texted to him.
Right? So you say, hey, I'm going to text you the phone number and the PIN number so you have it. And then could you have added this, and could we add it for people going forward and say, look, when you get on the call, there's 2 things I want you to know. We're going to do a take 7. All that means is breathe in and breathe out so that you get focused. And then we're going to do 1 minute round where John is just going to go around, or who's ever running the call is going to say, hey, you got anything in your mind you want to talk about for him? And you got a minute to, so that during the pre-call.
There's a list of dojo things that we do. We do a group speak, 1 minute round.
Yeah, I don't want to overcomplicate it with all that.
Well, I'm not saying you should. What I'm saying is that I don't. To me, I feel like I'm feeling like I would be giving that person too much. It's not keeping it short and sweet. That seems like it's getting into the mechanics of it.
So you want to do that on the second call?
No. Wherever you feel it's going to make us the most. First of all,
The most money? Call one. Like it's not. It would take like 30 seconds for me to explain it on call one.
So then, yeah, wherever you guys feel it's best, just let me know. My feeling.
Okay, if you got the intuition that it's too much to do in the pre-call, I think we should definitely, because it's easy enough. And like I said, I don't want to bring in the 14 other things like dojo speak and everything else. But I say, hey, we're starting the call. We're just going to do take 7. I'll explain to them. That means you're just going to take a moment to breathe in and breathe out, and you can do that 7 times, and then we're going to begin. As simple as that.
So now, where in the number system should I put that in?
That would be after the welcome.
Okay, so after welcome, before we go over the video that they watched?
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna go over dojo terminology or things, dojo.
Nope, not even that. Just go over what does it take 7?
Because you usually do it take 3, take 5, take 7.
Right, perfect, very good.
Intervals are the same shit, the same thing. And what else? Anything else?
I think from there, that's perfect.
Are we doing a take 5, are we doing a 1 minute round in this first call?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, if we do, when we go over their goals, say there's whatever the number of people, that we can introduce, hey, listen, there's also another dojo, whatever, called the 1 minute round. So in order to get this question answered, what are some of the goals of the people that's here on the line? We'll do a 1 minute round. Bill, you can start with your 1 minute round, John, and that's where they could possibly get introduced to what a 1 minute round is. And in my mind, I know we only have 2 people on the call, but I'm thinking, what if there's 10 people on the call?
All right, perfect. That's where I was going. So do we want to have a blend where we do this? Let's say there's another person that wants to come on the call Monday. And let's say we have the option to either go through the orientation with them while Danny and Frank are on the call, or do we schedule a separate, 15-minute call to go through all this so it's not taken away from the main call?
Can I present a possibility, since we started this thing kind of
Yeah.
to grow it out? Can we look at this 10-minute call that we're setting a template for as this is a template, and we have 20 people on a call, because that's our first milestone, or 24 plus, and there's 24 people on a call, webinar, whatever it is, whatever the platform is that we're working on. How do we do it with 24 plus people on the call? And I can't hear Bill.
Why don't you sit over on this side? So Bill is taking the control seat.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, yep.
Is that more better?
Much better.
Well, the idea is that, I mean, I guess what's coming to mind is that, like, the other day, you came on the call a little bit later. Or I guess the idea is we need to have a structure to the dojo and the cadence of it, where if somebody comes in late, just like in a classroom, you know, the teacher doesn't start over, or, you know, the people, you can maybe take a minute and out after you're done with your sentence or what you're talking about to welcome them, or, I mean, that's one thing. And it's insulting to the people that are there to give, to make, in other words, they're there being accountable, they're showing up, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and then we're making exceptions for someone else if they came in late. I don't know if I want to be that strict or so on, but I think there's an element of that as we get bigger and bigger, people are going to feel slighted that, or let's put it this way, going back to the idea of that, you know, one of the things we need to be offering is safety and security and stability, is having certain rules about the dojo, and then that applies to everybody. And that's just one thought. And then the idea how to scale it, I don't know. I don't. We have 24 people on the call. I don't know. Let's ask Sandalfan.
John, I can't hear you.
Should an orientation call, do you hear me now?
Yep.
Should an orientation call be only for new members and not the 10 members that already went through it? So we're doing an orientation for the 5 new members, and then this way we're not doing, like, let's say we had 3 people that want to jump on the call at one point. Right? Let's say, hey, I want to get in. So instead of pulling them in to the current 710, would one option be, say, oh, you know what? We're going to do an orientation call, whatever day, whatever time. This way it's 3 new people getting oriented instead of trying to pull those 1 or 2 or 3 people into an existing call with the advanced people. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? Now it's your turn.
Yeah, I would agree to have a separate call for those people, for the 3 people, especially if they're paying. But if they're not paying and they just want to, like right now, we're just getting the dojo set up, then do we have to have a separate call for them? But in doing what we're doing now, Bill, I can't hear you. You have to. The mic is very sensitive.
You got to be right in front of the computer, I guess.
Yep, that's now I can hear you perfect.
Okay, the thought is that just like in, we're going to have different levels and different belts, and people are going to be at different levels. It's like there's WFG, there's a training associate, a senior associate, a marketing director, an SMD, EMD. There's different skill levels at each level, different accomplishments and things they have to have accomplished at that point. So you have the same expectations on somebody who's an SMD, or I mean, say an associate or a senior associate as an SMD or an EVC isn't fair. But the other side of it is that, you know, what starts happening is that for the people who are going to want to be our trainers or been our train the training program, then, you know, they're going to start having to do some of the operating the dojo, which would be maybe doing the orientation course, or at least be on it with us to train. And, you know, I'm just thinking, this is going to scale very quickly, and we're going to need to be training other people to do this.
Awesome. Bill, man,
we're going to be able to, you know, sell them a $30,000 system. I don't know. We'll get there.
Does this make sense though, from what you just said, and with the different levels? It's easier for a black belt to go and train a white belt than it is for a white belt to go train a black belt.
Absolutely.
So in that spirit, can we flesh this thing out for 24 people, or create this? This is what we're doing right now.
Make it 25.
Thank you. For 25 people plus, and then whatever increment under that we come in contact with, we could easily scale it down to fit.
Yep.
But at least let's consider going forward for 25 plus, because that whole practice doesn't make perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect.
Well, the challenge that I have, and I'm waiting to be enlightened or how it's going to come to me, I'm relying on John and you and my subconscious and superconscious mind and maybe Sandalphon to answer how we're going to do that. I mean, 3, 4, 5 people on the call, it's manageable. But how do you do 25?
Now check this possibility of an answer. If 10 people go and do a 1 minute round, people actually go a little longer. That's 10 minutes.
Right.
If you have an hour call, if we make the calls going forward, we create a template where the 7:10 call, before we record them, or record some, whatever, but the 7:10 call is an hour call with 25 people, 10 people can do a 10-minute round. Whoever didn't do the 10-minute round the first time, or well, 12 people, right? 24 would be an easier number. Whoever didn't do the first 10-minute round could do the second 10-minute round. Is that a possibility?
Well, the question comes to mind is, does that water down the experience of the dojo? I mean, that's part of that 1 minute, you know, that makes you feel like you're part of something. You're also contributing, you're learning, so people are sitting out for half, it's like.
Let me ask you a direct question. So when we get to question number 2, what are your goals? You're one of the people that got to do a 1 minute round out of the 12. Then for the next section, question number 4, what are your specific goals? Say you don't get to speak, but the other half gets to do the 1 minute round. Would you feel slighted, cheated, unvalued, or whatever?
It's like I went to the diner and the guy across the table got a steak and potatoes and French fry and vegetables, and I only got steak.
Well,
Maybe I only got French fries and vegetables, but I didn't get a steak. I didn't get the whole meal.
Okay, well, on the next call, you do get to go and answer. It's like half and half. Half the people go do 1 minute round at one portion of the call, and half the next. And that would happen on call number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and let them know that to equally balance it. Would you still feel unstaked?
I guess again, the mental model I'm using, it's maybe a wrong one, is that if I go into a class and everybody has to hand in or do an exercise and I'm left out, it just seems like I'm not getting what I paid for.
What if you went into the class knowing that half the people would get to do a 1 minute round at one point in the call, and the other half would get to answer another question at another time during the hour? You'd still feel the same way? And I'm hoping.
I mean, I guess the mental model then is, or the kind of class, maybe it's an acting class, and everybody gets to go up for a certain period of time, but they don't get to go up all the time.
And that's what I'm thinking, unless, and that's just one thought. The other thing, I was hoping you say yes, because then the thought is, and the challenge is, let's put our minds together and create another option, another solution. And
On Zoom, are they able to type in and interact by typing in and not only talking?
yeah, but we can't use Zoom, but on Webinar Jam, yes, they can. Zoom, you could do it too, but we're not, this is just for us right now. When we do these things, I thought we agreed that the platform is going to be Webinar Jam.
Well, I think we only talked about like giving the webinar. It's going to be Webinar Jam, but I don't think we talked about what are we going to do when we have like 10 people on a call.
Oh, well, if we're using Webinar Jam for the webinar, it's an awesome platform for actually doing the training. Oh, well, we'll just explore what other platforms are out there to do the 7:10 calls on. I know it can facilitate 100+ people, and that's one of our milestones. So, But to answer your question, whatever platform we do it on, I think most of them allow you to chat or text in.
So one option is everybody does a 1 minute round. Another option is we just put in the, you know, when they log in, they just type in if they want to do a 1 minute round out loud, and then we just call on the ones that say they want to do it, and then the ones that just want to type, because it's like a classroom. Not every single person is going to want to say something. So if we could identify that right when they want on the call, hey, put an X in your chat box if you want to do a 1 minute round, and then you'll be called upon, you know, at the appropriate time. And if you don't want to do one 1 minute round, you don't. Or if you want to chat, then there'll be somebody monitoring the chat.
And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but this is where I defer to Bill's mental model. I don't think they should have a choice, because we should let them know that this is a participatory type of settings. So a part of you growing, a part of you accomplishing your goals is making the unfamiliar familiar and the familiar unfamiliar. So if you're the kind of person that you want to be a wallflower, you can't do that in this dojo if you want to get any kind of true success.
Remember, the 1 minute round isn't the only way that they could interact. There's other ways that we could have them interact. The point is, if we have 10 people on the call, that could potentially waste, you know, take up 15 minutes. We don't want to do that. If there's only 3 people that want to talk at the moment, that's great. And then when the other interaction comes, like the close or whatever, then we could have them interact.
Okay, and that's an awesome mindset. When I went to the Long Island RIA apprenticeship program, they went around the room asking everybody what's their level of knowledge about real estate, what are their goals. I was nervous as hell. I didn't want to do it. I can't stand doing things like that. By me doing it, now I'm more comfortable doing it. If she had skipped me, I think that would have just prolonged my weird habit of not.
Good, all right, then we have 20 people on the call. How do we do everybody getting a 1 minute round?
As you said, it's either we do half and half, or everybody just goes and does a 1 minute round, or come up with another solution. Maybe we have less people in order to give more value.
Protector? Leon, we'll be back in a minute. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to unplug it from the wall? You want me to go under this? You want me to pull it out without pulling?
This way.
Hold on 1 second. Do we want to pick it up and go backwards?
Yeah.
Did you get the right plug out?
Wow. Well,
Too risky, I think, no?
All right. Can you hear it?
Still muffled.
I'm right here now.
Okay, great. Yep, sound good.
The power strip in the just kind of burns out, and it smells like electrical burnt right now.
Oh boy.
Leon, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, so let's say that we determine that it's important for everybody to do the 1 minute round, or at least say, oh, I don't have anything for today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we had 15 people, right, that could take a little bit long going around. How about this? How about once we have the scripts, to handle those 15 people at 7:10. I have 5 people on one phone number, one pin, doing it. We do the 1-minute round. At the same time, I'm doing those 5 people. At the same exact time, Bill is doing 5 people in his dojo at the same time. And then you are on a different phone number, different pin. And then you're doing 5 people in your dojo, different phone number, different pin. This way we're handling 15 people for the price of one.
You took my 3 separate dojos at that point.
Good. That's exactly what we want.
How do we get to 25 people? Or 100 people?
But at least do you agree now that at least we could handle 15 people in a quicker time than we could have done a minute ago? We all 3 don't have to be in the same dojo. We just triplicated ourselves, and instead of handling 5 people, we're handling 15 with the same effort.
So that each of us will be going through this whole 0 to 7 on our own?
Well, I'm saying, let's say Monday we have 15 people that want to be in the dojo. This Monday, next Monday, whatever. Is that one way we could handle it, to where I handle 5 on one call at the same time Bill does 5, same time you do 5?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I just like to get the details. So in handling the call, I would do from 0 to 7 on my call. You would do from 0 to 7 on your call, and so on.
What do you mean by 0 to 7?
I would welcome the people. I would already sent them the video.
Yes. Yep. And
Okay.
let's say by some miracle we have 15 people next Monday. Would you vote to put them all on one call with the 3 of us at the same time in the same dojo? Or I take 5 on one number, Bill takes 5 on another, you take 5 on another, and we take them through steps 0 through 7?
Okay,
What would your vote be?
Right, before I answer that question, would we do calls 2 to 10 the same exact way?
We would observe and give feedback on how it worked, and then make the decision.
Yeah, that seems like so much of we put it out there to 5 people, especially if they're paying people to do that kind of observing and what works and what doesn't work. And one of the other things to consider, one of our distinctions and one of our strengths is the fact that you're getting 3 coaches for the price of 1, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
Bill, it's hard to hear you.
He said we got to write that down somewhere. So you're saying if we had 15 people next Monday, bring them all onto one call? That's your vote?
Shit, 25 as Bill said.
So you would want 25 on one call, all live?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, how would Carla handle the shit?
I mean, well, that's a good question. I think that, part of the answer to this is, I mean, the way Transamerica does their calls, or when Ed Marlette has something, is, they have the, they only use a chat feature, and everybody's on, mute. They're listen-only mode. And then the guest speakers who come on are the ones who get to talk, and that's the way, I mean, the webinar we just did with he had a chat going on, and he had certain people he was able to talk to through the Zoom. They were able to,
Yeah,
I don't know. We got to figure that out.
That's what John was alluding to just now.
We want interaction. So how about this? Monday, I'm with my group. Tuesday, we're all with let's say that we decide to experiment and do what we don't want to do. So Monday, I'm with my 8 people in my dojo.
John, hold on 1 second, because the way you couched it is that do what we don't want to do. It's not that necessarily don't want to do it. I mean, unless you really feel that it's something that we don't want to do, then fine. I'll gladly do a call by myself. I do calls by myself.
But listen to the final end of it. Mm-hmm. So let's say we decide to do all 25 people on one call, and we discover that works great. Wonderful. let's say we decide to do it and we discover, you know what? Let's try for a week, breaking it up to where each of us does 8 people. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we all do our groups of 8. And then Friday, we jump on one big call where there's not going to be a lot of interaction from them and participation, but it's going to be where we're going to be there in a whole group on a Friday, where it'll be you, me, and Bill, and all of them on one call. But Monday to Thursday, we're doing our separate individual calls.
Well, the thought that's coming to me is, one, it's diluting the energy that we have together. 2 is there's something inside of me that's spurring up, like, hey, listen, I'm willing to do whatever. So it's whatever meaning we give things, and I'm able to just be like, let me have fun and experiment with what you're saying and see how it works out. So those are the 2 things going on inside of me.
Okay, so if you had a choice, you'd rather have 25 people on one call with the 3 of us?
I'd rather have 150 actually, but just to start
At
out.
the same time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But to be mindful of where does it dilute, where people feel they're not getting value. And then if that's the case, then if you want real value, come to one of our live seminars or 3-day retreat.
One of the things that might be a way to go. I mean, I guess what I was thinking is that one of the ways to, as we're architecting this, let's engineer or at least plan on having the double-blind studies, if you want to call it that, where we have some, split testing built into it, where maybe, we try one group of seminars the way John's talking about, or maybe we try it, but in other words, we don't know what the answer is. We know what the question is. So how do we scale this thing is the question, and coming up with different ideas. So how do we, the idea is maybe having the ability to test it in some fashion. We're not making, it's not etched in stone yet.
Could this be a possible solution? Just so we can get through the 10, or at least one section of the 10 calls, because it feels like some sort of block going on, that every time we try to flesh this thing out to be able to complete it, what if we just pretend there's 5 people or 10 people on the call, or 7 people, a real nice number that won't make us a lot of money. No, let me stop. Just something that we could easily facilitate. And I think we left off at the 1-minute round being introduced on bullet point number 2. How would that look?
You want to type it in, and then we could either, I'm all for it. All right.
Then do we do another 1-minute round for the success stories?
Okay. We're not going to go to Leon's, right? It's 5:40 already.
Yeah.
So
Then,
Leon, we have the pre-call. I took notes on that. Is there anything you want to add to call 1? Because it's 5:40 and Bill's just about got to go home. So how do you like the way call 1 looks?
Well, first of all, I apologize because I wasn't able to be there with you guys physically. I think that helps. And second of all, I think we should just revisit the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think we accomplished a lot, though, by getting the pre-call and call 1 really thorough instead of just trying to jump through it. So I think that's important.
I definitely agree.
All right, good.
This is available on the website, the Gold Card Nation.
The who?
Are you going to save it on Google Drive?
Yeah. And I'll send you a link to it right now.
Perfect.
and then I recorded this session, so let's see what the heck Zoom does.
I think the answer's going to jump out on us at some point.
I hope so.